Like, share, subscribe on all platforms. What's going on? What's going on? Yours truly, Coach Cloud. I know y'all miss me. I got my blazer on, I want to look professional. Got my microphone. Hey, we ready. It's March Madness, baby. It's the best time of the year. This is, if you're a basketball enthusiast like myself, this is the best time of the year to really, break down basketball and just also, just talk about the game, man. The game is going crazy right now. And let's talk about it. We got the Final Four set. We got Michigan, number one seed, been dominant all year with Dusty May, Yasser Boy, LJ Carter, the UNC transfer, Elliot Cadeau, all Montrez Johnson, the transfer from from Michigan, from where did he go? He went to Illinois. Yes, he did. I got a little tongue tied, talk a little fast though, man. I'm a little excited, man. I've been kind of away for about a week though. We got another episode dropping with my co-host Marbury on the College Basketball Weekly Podcast with yours truly, Coach Cloud. But Michigan, the- got Michigan versus Arizona. That's gonna be a great game. Arizona with Jaden Bradley, five-star freshman, Score Pete, Brandon Burns. They got a lot of Euro bigs. They got a lot of size though. So we're gonna talk about that game more later this week. Dive into a full game analysis though. But the Final Four is set. You got Illinois, the Balkans, it's a lot of international flavor in this Final Four though, and it's gonna be a lot of interesting games and matchups and size and coaching as well though. So we're gonna break down all that these next two episodes though, man. Then you got Illinois. That game was crazy how they came back down from 19 versus Duke. Versus Duke. We thought they were dead in the water, but now with Danny Hurley, they came back and got the job done. And you really can't just knock the hustle with that one, man. They did their job. It's down 19. This is more about UConn getting that job done, man. Duke choked once again, back to back years, 3 straight years they choked. They choked in the Elite Eight. They choked in the versus NC State, choked in the Final Four versus Houston, and they just choked in the Elite Eight again versus UConn. Come on, dude. Come on, Shire, get together. We got to do better with that, though. Also, we got the we got the Hall of Fame. Shout out to Amari Stoudemire for making the Hall of Fame and Doc Rivers. So they're gonna be at the Final Four as well, getting Northern and all that though. Ella Don and Candace Parker. So shout out to the Hall of Fame class of 2026. That's big time right there. So let's get into the topics though, man. A lot of coaches got fired, man, over the past weeks, man. UNC fires Hubert Davis after blowing a 19-point lead versus VCU. Now, as a Tar Heel fan, man, this hurts, man. Hubert Davis, man. I thought, we gave him more time. He definitely could have, got some recruits. He started to recruit, well, man. He got Mingo, Kate Mingo coming in next year. Hopefully, he stays on there with the next staff, though, to play in the Tar Heel jersey. But then Davis, man, great job, man. It is what it is, man. He could have did a better job as far as the social media side, because Duke is killing him on that side. But really, man, it is what it is, man. They feel like he wasn't the guy for the job as far as just from a recruiting standpoint and just from an X's and O's, man. He blew a lead, 15-point lead in the national championship game versus Kansas his first year. But it had its ups and down moments though with Davis, and we need somebody that can come in with Final Four experience and get the job done right away. That can recruit with Duke, recruit with Kansas, recruit with Louisville, recruit with Kentucky, recruit with everyone else that's killing in for UConn. As that brand, as a UConn, as that North Carolina brand. So we have been having a lot of names with Dusty Mays, Tommy Lloyd, Billy Donovan. At this point, man, I just want a guy that's going to be there and that's going to be ready to, get the job done when it's time. And attack that portal. If you need to call me for that portal, I got you, Jim Tanner. That's the GM for UNC though. But man, it's a lot of coaches been fired. We got Arizona State, Randy Bennett, the former St. Mary's coach. He's been in St. Mary's, getting them to the tournament for years. He's at Arizona State, replacing Bob Hurley. Akron, Destin Ford is replacing. He's moving up, elevated the former associate head coach under John Gross for many years. He's at the head coach of Akron. Shout out to Destin Ford. John Gross is to Charleston, College of Charleston in the CAA. Good job, good facilities. Uh, hey man, better NIL budget. That's what it is about. You got to play play to win though, man. A lot of jobs is opening up. You got G Mac, Jerry McInerney at Syracuse, former Syracuse player, returned to his alma mater. That's gonna be big time. Yeah, he's a Syracuse legend on and off the court now. So hopefully he can get that pride with Jim Boeheim built up for many years, and get upstate New York in the dome back rolling, man. It's gonna be big to see Syracuse really just get back into the top of the ACC, man, where they belong or wherever they, I know they was in the Big East, really should be in they should be in the Big East really now. But it is what it is, man. With all this conference realignment in football, it is what it is, man. LSU, Will Wade, he leaves North Carolina State after 1 year, and now is back at LSU where he got fired for FBI scandal for basically doing NIL for what you're doing now. So man, his old AD at McNeese State is the new AD at LSU. So relationships matter. Remember that, kids and parents. Relationships matter at all levels of the game, though. But at the end of the day, Brian Hodgson, Providence, new head coach, replaces South Florida. South Florida gets Chris Mack, former Xavier, Louisville, and College of Charleston coach. So this is it's like a whole coaching carousel right now. And Jackson State, Jackson State, and Alabama State coach, they look for Power Five jobs. Tony Medlock at Alabama State, he joined Will Wade. Mo Williams at Jackson State, he's leaving to go to Kentucky. So, like I said, it's a lot of movement. So, kids, make sure you're making the right decision as far as in the portal. A lot of coaches is leaving that recruited you. Hey, it is what it is, man. It's part of business, nothing personal, man. So, best of luck to all those coaches that got the new gigs, and best of luck on that new journey. And hey, win games, and make sure you get the right players. Hit up Claude Hoops Consultant. We're coming up with some intel, NBA front office intel to help guys and coaches, pick the right guys with numbers and percentages, help these guys win. So man, that's at Cloud Hoops Consulting, man, we just try to consult all levels of the game as far as front offices, coaches, and obviously parents and players. So, we trying to get that coaches carousel out the way. But I wanted to get into that Duke game, man. Duke chokes again, man. Like I said, we said that earlier in the pod. They lost to NC State in the Elite Eight. That was led to their run. That coach got fired, Kevin Keatts. So he kind of had that best momentum in his coaching career, losing to DJ Burns and them. That's come on, Shire. Then last year, I was at the game last year versus Houston. Duke been dominant all year. Back-to-back years they've been dominant and losing the final seconds of the game. So Shire might need to get veteran guards in the portal to really, help clean up those big, those crunch time, big time moments, man. Guys panicking. Freshman is freshman. Freshmen can lead you there. They're talented, but they don't have the experience and pose to really right now to really, beat these older guys. As you've seen these past championships, older guys are winning the national championship. It is what it is with Hurley or Florida last year. So you got to get some vets as far as at the guard position to really excel at what you're trying to do. It's hard to win games when you got freshmen that haven't really, been in those moments, and especially when you've been dominating teams all year. It's hard to do that. So in my opinion, Shire, you have to get some either a EuroLeague guard that's going to be able to come in right away and make some noise. You got Kentucky trying to recruit Dink Pay, who's been in the G League for the past couple years. And so guys is going to recruit, man. You can't just get the top freshman classes if you're going to get your way to the national championship. It's not 10 years ago. You see John Calipari getting a mixture of vets and rookies, and so Shire might have to definitely look reevaluate how you want to close these games out moving forward. And then March Madness, you're measured by how many championships you win in Final Fours, not just get to the Elite Eight though. So he's a young coach, young career, bright young future. Has won over 100 games already in 4 years. So man, shout out to Shire, man. You'll get it done, man. Not a Duke fan, not a Duke guy, but greatness is greatness. And John Shire is on his way to doing great things. He just has to figure out how to get over the hump and win those big games when it matters most in March. Now, Dan Hurley. Is Dan Hurley top five? Is he top five all time? Because the stuff he's been doing has been miraculous. Terrence Reed was a monster. Then Brandon Murray's hit the three. The Indiana kid hit the three to get to the Final Four in Indy. So he's gonna have a hometown reunion once he gets there. So man, I'll say this though, man. Danny Hurley is on his way to win his third national championship in 4 years. That's big time. So man, for right. With that being said, a lot of people can't really do what he does. And at this high level he's doing, you gotta praise him, man. He did it with Tristan Newton for 2 years, Donovan Clavin, Samson Johnson, Jordan Hawkins, Adam Bononga. He has a good team. Alex Clutterman, one of the greatest players in UConn history and in the Big East as well. So, with that being said, man, Danny Hurley is on his way to being top five all time. He's probably top 20 right now, bro. But man, he's relentless. He doesn't care. He's a grinder. He does it all, man. And I'm not the biggest Hurley fan with this NS what he does towards his refs. But hey, winners win. He finds a way to win at all times. And I gotta respect that as a former coach and as a competitor as well. He'll run through a brick wall for his guys. So with that being said, man, Hurley, you're on your way to being top five for sure. You're definitely moving past a lot of guys that that we glorify with one championship. You got two back to back. So that's just a whole different ball class, Hall of Fame class by yourself, sir. So man, and he's not even 50 yet. He probably barely just turned 50. So man, shout out to Danny Hurley, man. His father was a great coach. Now it passes down in the family, man. Hopefully your brother can get a gig that can really, propel his coaching career as far as stability. Did a decent job at Arizona State, and then he can do better though. So hopefully, your brother can kind of follow your trajectory. But hey man, shout out to Danny Hurley, man. Is Bill Self retiring? It's Bill Self. I mean, like I said, man, if you have a health issues for the last 5, 6 years, Darren Peterson situation, that's hard. That's hard to manage though as a coach. So, with that being said, hey, I think it's time for him to retire though. Because like I said, this new generation is just different from what he's used to. At Darren Peterson subbing stuff out mid play at halftime or mid play during the second half playing 20 minutes a game. He's a dominant player, obviously. The number speaks for itself, but it's just hard to coach and gel that team together. And then, like I said, he's just dealing with a lot of stress. You're the Kansas head coach, so being the Kansas head coach can draw a lot of stress and backlash as well, especially in the media. You're basically their NBA team though. So I think he had a hell of a career, two-time national championship, most recent one in 2022, one of the greatest of all time. I think it's time for him to hang it up and just retire to the sunset, man. Because like I said, with this new space and NIL teams been kind of going down, been spending a lot of money. I think the program just needs a fresh start. Not that it's a bad program. I think it's just for his health reason why it's more health related. I think it's just time, just relax, get them grandkids, and just enjoy what you accomplished. So hopefully he does. Not trying to make somebody retire when they're not ready, but just from a health standpoint, I think it's time though. So shout out to Bill Self. He's a legend in the game. One of my favorite teams was with Sharon Collins, the twin Morris twins. And like I said, man, Xavier Henry, man, he can hell of recruit, man. He didn't he knows how to recruit the guys from the trenches, Devontae Graham, Frank Mason, Joel Embiid, Andrew Wiggins. He has coached a lot of great players, man. And I think it's time for him to make a change, man. Maybe go into TV or just like I said, just do what you got to do, man, to make sure you ease yourself as far as stressing over these kids, parents, and agents, man. Like I said, Bill Self deserves better of that for sure, though, man. So with that being said, man, let's see if he makes the right decision. Houston will ever win. Now, Kelvin Sampson is an all-time great. He dropped the ball losing to Illinois, man. Illinois was just dominant, man. They couldn't really make a shot versus them. Now, defense wins championships, as they say, but talent can also take you over the hump. So definitely need some guys that can make more shots. Kingston Felony had a hell of a year. Chris Cynic, if I feel like if he had scored more inside out, he definitely would have got you over the hump going against those bigs versus Illinois. Milo Uzan, I think he had a down year this year. He didn't play to the best of his abilities though, and that might kind of help knock his stock down to being undrafted. So he was like second round. So with that being said, I think Houston they got to regroup, man. He always complaining about we need money, we need money. So We'll see how Houston can regroup after this. They dropped the ball though, trying to get to the Final Four in Houston. Dropped the ball when they were trying to get to the Final Four in Houston. And when it's actually in Houston, they had a regional finals in regional semifinals in Houston. They lost. They had a home court advantage that whole second week of the NCAA tournament, and they dropped the ball. So Kelvin Sampson, he's gonna have to regroup as well with that though. Man, got a lot of guys leaving, and we'll see what direction they go as a program. Illinois wins with overseas players, man. You got David Markovich, you got the Ivic twins from Croatia. So like I said, Andrea Stokovic has gotten way better, more efficient, getting downhill. Looks like he got pep in the step, and he loves coaching them. They get coached hard overseas, so they're used to being coached hard by a guy like a Brad Underwood, who's a JUCO coach, grinded his way up to the top, and now he's in the Final Four at 60 years old, coaching with his son Tyler as well. So one thing about Brad Underwood, he's a grinder, and European guys are grinders as well. So man, shout out to him getting it done. He used to coach my one of my fellow friends, Mark Allstark, his first year at Illinois, Trent Frazier, man. Trent Frazier was a classic Illinois player. Coffee Kingston, Adu DeMayo, great players at Illinois, man. And I feel like, man, he finally got over the hump, getting to the Final Four. So shout out to Brad Underwood with that aspects for sure. Arizona, they looking real dominant. Arizona's looking real dominant. They they just been a well-oiled machine all year long, man. So I'm not surprised they got this far. They was down 7 at the half in the Elite Eight versus Purdue, and Braden Smith was cooking them. But they turned it on. Arizona turned it on in the second half, and they showed why they've been the number one team all year long, though, man. So I got Arizona. I really got Arizona winning this Final Four, but we'll talk about that in a later pod later this week before the game Saturday. So with that being said, man, it's been Arizona's first time in 25 years since they made the Final Four. And let's see how they respond though, man. Like I said, Tommy Lloyd, he's been getting a lot of attention off the court with the North Carolina head coaching job opening. Let's see if he sticks around. If they win or lose, it'll be interesting to see that though. But shout out to the Wildcats, man, with that though, man. Enjoy that. Hey, hope y'all get it done, man. First time last time a team from the West Coast has won it is in 1997, and that was Arizona Wildcats with the legendary Lou Olson. So let's see if they can get this done. Let's talk some portal talk. Who will win the portal early? A lot of guys are in their name. The portal doesn't officially open until Monday night after the really Tuesday 12 a.m. is when the portal officially opens. So a lot of names been going out there. A lot of teams been part poaching all year. A lot of ADs been calling coaches to get new gigs. So we'll be interested to see who win the portal early. It's the season, regular season been over about a month. So let's see who gets the right guy. So a lot of big names coming in. Brent Bryce from Miami. Got a big from Georgia, the top shot blocker, average 2.34 serial from Georgia. So like I said, it's a lot of names, man. Tyler Tejada from Townsend. I'm just throwing out little mid-measure names out there though. So it's gonna be interesting to see who Anton Bolt from Charlotte. A lot of decent bids coming in the portal though. A lot of St. Mary's players, Belmont players had a lot of coaching jobs leave. So maybe they'll follow those coaches to their new jobs. We'll see though. But the portal is the wild west, and make sure you making the right decisions as far as going where you going. Don't just go because of the brand, go because of the coach and fit, and make sure you gel with the staff as well. Because this is basically is the portal free agency now. Of course, it's been a free agency now, and now it's legalized, and now it's more free though. So make sure you got the right information, and just don't go anywhere. That's why we're gonna go to NIL versus fit. What your players value more? Obviously, you gotta value money, but you're gonna get paid regardless. So make sure you're valuing that fit rather than just money, so you can grow. You want to be just a glorified role. You don't want to average 20 points somewhere like in the MAC, then average barely 10 points in the upper level. That just looks kind of crazy far as from a scouting standpoint. So make sure you got the same usage rate and you can do what you do best to excel your career on and off the court. So that's a little portal talk. We'll get a little more into that though. Let's get back into the Final Four though. The Michigan Wolverines with Dusty May, they've been hooping, man. So can Michigan really win it all, man? I'm talking to my aunt. She got Arizona winning. I got Arizona winning too. But let's see what the Michigan boys and Dusty May and Yaxel Underberg. He's been talking crap all year. Lost in the Big Ten championship to Purdue though. So we'll see how how they do, man. Because they sometimes they lose in big games, big spots too, like they did versus Duke. So we're gonna see, man. That guard, Carson, LJ Carson being out was kind of a big blow for the Michigan with the backup guard though. But McKinney, he is a hell of a player, and let's see if he can step up. But I like Andy Mara though. He's gotten way better for his time at McCrone at UCLA, and that's a good sign that a player just getting better, got paid, and now he's looking like a NBA starting big or maybe a backup starting up. So shout out to the Michigan Wolverines, man. It's gonna be a great game Saturday night, 8:49, TBS, True TV, Michigan versus Arizona. That might be the national championship game preview right there. The winner of that game might win it all. That's what I'm looking like right there. Big Ten was the clear best conference this year. I know Kempon had the SEC and the Big 12 over them, but no, the Big Ten is the best conference. Yeah, Illinois, Iowa, Ohio State, Nebraska, Michigan. That's five teams right there. Four of them teams made it to the second weekend. So right there, all for I'm probably missing a couple other teams. Who else am I missing? Michigan State, Purdue. I'm telling you, man, it was a lot of good teams in the Big Ten this year. And a lot of teams got overlooked. It was so top heavy. Illinois, they made it. I'm telling you, man, it's a lot of great teams in the Big Ten. They got good budget, they got good culture, and they're recruiting the right guys. And they get a lot of retention too as well. So I think it's gonna be interesting to see how guys look at what conferences to go to, because like the conferences you play in matter as well. Just like in overseas, the leagues you play in matters as well. So playing in the Big Ten will prepare you for greatness, just like the SEC did for Lusher. The best conferences change every year. 1 minute it's the Big 12, 1 minute it's the SEC, 1 minute it's the Big 10. 1 year it's maybe the ACC. So it changes. Then you got the Pac-12 coming in, new Pac-12 coming in. So it's gonna be a lot of different bouncing around with players leaving and coaches leaving in these major conferences though. So keep an eye on that. But I think the Big Ten was clearly the best conference. You had Big Ten, Elite Eight with Illinois, Iowa. Then you had a Sweet 16, Iowa, Nebraska. So like it don't get better than that though. So just keep watching games and revenue will grow as far as from the Big Ten wise. How each team can win it all. Now, Illinois, they can win it all with their size and Keaton Wagler, the go-to player they have with Cosboswell. They got wings with Stagovich. So Illinois could win it all just with their size and experience and their shot making ability. That's one thing I'll say for Illinois. Obviously, all the coaches are pretty good. You wouldn't make it this far if your coach wasn't that good. Just saying with that though. So that's my thing with Illinois is size and shooting and just really just getting the stops at the right moment versus UConn. Now, UConn keys to winning it all is Terrence Reed Jr. and Silas Danberg and solo ball hitting shots. Alex Caravan will hit shots regardless. He's not going to go 0 for 5 again, especially in the Final Four. I don't see that happening. Solo ball, I think he's going to have one of his breakout games. He's been shooting the ball kind of piss poor all year, but this is the moments where you have to play your best ball, especially having a week off, going through the parade, the parade and all that. Hey, we made it to the Final Four, the Final Four. But I think it's a business trip as usual. It's not a vacation trip. He didn't win it all yet, and he has some experience with that 24 national championship team though. So that's how UConn can win it. Is that their X factor? Malachi Smith from UD, the brother of former Dayton legend Squishy Smith. Shout out to Squishy Smith. And shout out to my sister Shirley. She told me to give her a shout out on the pod, so I'm gonna give you a shout out. Shout out to Shirley and her kids. But anyways, that's how UConn is gonna get it done though. Silas Danbury, Terrence Reed Jr., Solo Ball, Malachi Smith. Their guys just got to step up to the plate. You can't be down 19 or you're going to lose by 19 to this Illinois team. The Balkan Bros are legit. I'll just say that. Now, Arizona, their keys to win it all. is just get into that paint. Keep getting to the paint. Don't get three point happy like you did in the first half versus Purdue. Just get to that paint. Get to the free throw line. Attack those bigs. Match up well. The guards. I think they have the best guards right now left in the Final Four. And this is going to show. Brandon Burns is going to have a maybe a 20 to 30 point game. You never know what him. Brantley's going to do with his thing. He's Mr. Clutch. So that's how they beat the Michigan Wolverines, attacking those bigs and going after those guards. So that's the case for Arizona. Now for Michigan, just continue to play as a team, be dominant, and just shot blocking. Make sure y'all protect that paint because Arizona want to get into that paint. They want to block it. They want to get to the free throw line, pump fake, and everything. So if you can out rebound them, out physical them, I feel like Michigan will handle Arizona quite frankly. Because you really Yaxel versus Koa Pete, that's the interesting matchup right there. Andy Marr versus the Lithuanian big Arizona had, that's an interesting matchup right there. So it's a lot of interesting matchups right there. It could be 50-50 with that game. That game gonna be powerful game right there. Game with the heavyweights, just like it was last year in the Final Four. Now I want to end the show off with this. Is Cinderella dead? Is it? Is it really dead? I'm asking though. Because there's no mid majors in the second week. The last mid major to make it the Final Four was Dusty Mays with FAU. So a lot of best players are getting approached from the mid majors throughout the year. So all season long. So I'm not gonna say it's dead yet. Just teams just gotta find a way to win those big games. Right, State almost. Sorry, I got interrupted. Had a phone call, but like Cinderella is not gonna be dead. It's always gonna be teams that look at Keaton Waddle. He kind of fell throughout the cracks though. So what if he went to like a High Point or Drake or Valparaiso? You never know, man. There's teams out there with a lot of talent, and they're gonna figure it out. It's all about retention for us for the man match. So the better they can retain their players, the better they can make a run. So that's this episode for week one. As far as part one for the final four episodes, we got more content coming. Got Portal, coaching carousel, got interviews coming soon. Hey, like, share, subscribe. Like, share, and subscribe, baby. Call your auntie, your mama, your cousin, everybody.